Hey, good morning, good day, good afternoon. Not sure when you're watching this. It's morning for me here. So I'm starting a little series on things that I get questions on a lot, starting with some of the most important. So I wanted to take a few minutes today and just do a quick video on the I-9, basically how to complete the form, what portions the employee completes versus what portion the employer completes, and just kind of go through how to fill out that form because it causes a lot of confusion. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and you should be able to see the I-9 now. So here's the copy of the most recent I-9. And I'm just going to go ahead and start from the top. So this is a form that's usually in a new hire packet or in an electronic onboarding packet. And starting in section 1 here, the employee is going to go ahead and fill out all of these first boxes. So they're going to fill out their last name, their first name, middle initial, other last names. So that's usually for women if they've been married or had a maiden name or changed last names. Then their address, which is pretty straightforward, date of birth, social security number, their email, and their phone number. Moving on, they are going to check one of the next 4 boxes to attest that they are whatever they check. So if they're a citizen of the US, check box 1, nothing else is required. Check 2 is a non-citizen national of the United States. Checkbox 3 is a lawful permanent resident, and they do need to provide their alien registration number here if they're checking that option. And then option 4 is an alien authorized to work until expiration date. And then there's obviously several items to fill out here, so they'll need to do the expiration date. And then they'll either need to provide their alien registration number or their Form I-94 admission number or their foreign passport number with the country of issuance. So down here, if they are checking box 4, they need to enter a date and then just complete one of the next 4 fields. Then they're going to go ahead and sign, and they're going to put today's date. Now be very careful about your dating on the forms. So with the Form I-9, the employee is supposed to complete the form within 3 days of hire. The employer is also supposed to certify the form within 3 days of hire. However, you're not supposed to provide the employee with the form until they've accepted an offer of employment, because what you don't want is to have this provided to the employee, get it back, and then not make an offer to them, which may seem like the information on this form affected your hiring decision, which would be very bad. Next, they're going to say if they did or did not use a preparer or translator. And then if they did use a translator or preparer, then this next section would be completed by that person. If they did not use a preparer or translator, then this section would just be left blank. So a lot of times I do see either the employee or the employer coming in here and trying to fill some things out. This section is specifically for a preparer or translator if one was used. Going on to the next section here. So starting here, you can see this is the employer or authorized representative review and verification. So the employee is done. The employee should not be filling out anything else on the form. So you're going to start by completing their last name, their first name, middle initial, and citizenship or immigration status. And then here's kind of the meat and potatoes of what we're doing with this form. So the employee, I'm going to scroll down here, the employee gets this list of acceptable documents, and they are allowed to choose what to provide to you. So you cannot say, for example, hey, bring your social security card and driver's license, or hey, bring your passport. You just have to give them this form and say, please bring the necessary documents. So if they choose any of these items in list A, they do not have to provide anything from list B or list C. So list A is one and done. Now, if they provide a document from list B, then they also have to provide a document from list C. So again, list A, one and done. If they give you something from list A, that's it. If they give you a list B document, they also need to provide a second document from list C. Not 2 Bs, not 2 Cs, 1B, 1C, or 1A. Coming back up here, You're going to use those documents to complete the rest of the form. So if they provided you with a List A document, you will go ahead and fill out those fields for the document they provided. If they provide a List B and a List C, you will fill out both of these sections, again, using the documents that the employee provided. A big error that I see is employees coming in and filling out this section, and that defeats the entire purpose of the form. The employer is supposed to come in. Technically, they're supposed to physically hold the forms that were provided, review them, make sure they don't look fraudulent to the best of their knowledge, and then complete the I-9. And then the employer also has to come down here and do their certification. So the first date field here is for the employee's first date of employment. So their hire date, first day they're working. Then they're going to come down here, or the employer is going to come down here, they're going to sign, they're going to put today's date. Now again, this date and this date should be within 3 days of each other. So be very careful when you're filling these out that you have a system in place to make sure that these get completed on time. Then you're going to put the title, last name of employer or authorized representative, first name, employer, business, or organization name, and then the employer's address. If necessary, you can use section 3 for re-verification and rehires. That obviously would only be used if you are re-verifying, or if you have rehired someone, you wouldn't need to fill out a full new I-9 if you have a rehire. So that is the I-9. It seems pretty simple when you break it down step by step, but a lot of times employers are either missing this step entirely, not doing it in a timely fashion, or not really controlling and telling the employee where to input information and where to not. So again, the employee section is here, and then they check a box. This section for a preparer or translator if used, if not, it's blank. Next page, this is the employer section, taking those documents that the employee provides and doing the verification, and then certifying and dating everything. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can go to our website, www.valorpayrollsolutions.com. You can email info@valorpayrollsolutions.com, or you can put a message.